This week at NASA.
I won't hit you.
NASA Chief Technologist Bobby Braun helped kick off Spinoff Day on Capitol Hill. The event at the Rayburn House Office building showcased companies whose products have been spun off or derived from newfound NASA technologies and how they improve life here on Earth.
This new approach, this technology-enabled approach, will allow NASA to produce more things like you see in the room today. Not just more science and exploration missions, but more Earth-based spin-offs.
NASA research and development has spawned more than 1,600 successfully commercialized applications in health and medicine, public safety, consumer goods, transportation, environmental resources, computer technology, and industrial productivity. To learn more about how NASA spin-offs continue to benefit our society, visit www.nasa.gov/spinoffs. A 6-member team of Aquanaughts is testing exploration concepts off Florida's East Coast in the difficult and often dangerous work environment of the ocean. The team participating in the 14th expedition of the NASA Extreme Environment Mission Operations, NEMO, is Canadian astronaut Chris Hadfield, NASA astronaut and flight surgeon Tom Marshburn, Lunar Electric Rover Deputy Project Manager Andrew Abercrombie, research scientist Steve Chappell, and habitat technicians James Talasek and Nate Bender. During the 14-day undersea mission, the NEMO crew lives and works aboard the Aquarius underwater laboratory, where they'll perform life science experiments focused on human behavior, performance, and physiology. They'll also venture out into the depths to simulate spacewalks and operate and maneuver mock-ups of vehicles future space explorers might use in setting up a habitat on another planet. NASA's Mars Exploration Rover Oppurtunity is the new robotic record holder for longevity on the Red Planet. Oppurtunity surpassed the duration mark set by NASA's Viking Lander 1 of 6 years and 116 days operating on the surface of Mars.
Spirit has likely passed that record, but right now Spirit is deeply asleep, and so we haven't heard from the rover in about 2 weeks. But once she wakes up, she'll reclaim the title as the longest-lived asset on the surface of Mars.
Oppurtunity's twin rover, Spirit, began working on Mars 3 weeks before Oppurtunity. Both Spirit and Oppurtunity were designed for 90-day missions. Viking Lander 1 was the first successful mission to the surface of Mars, touching down on July 20th, 1976. It operated until November 13, 1982. Recent studies sponsored by NASA suggest that omega-3 fatty acids found in fish oil may play a role in mitigating bone breakdown. Bone density loss, a problem astronauts experience during long-duration spaceflight, has long been a subject of NASA research. The fish oil connection could have broader implications not only for space travelers, but also for those susceptible to osteoporosis here on Earth. The study's results are published in the current issue of the Journal of Bone and Mineral Research.
Thank you. It's great to be here with you today.
Astronaut Jeff Williams, Expedition 22 commander of the International Space Station, gave a special presentation at the National Air and Space Museum in Washington about his recent 6-month mission aboard the complex. Williams shared high-definition video from his mission with a full house, then took questions from the audience.
How does it feel coming back on Earth?
Well, when you return to Earth, the brain's not used to paying attention to that because it hasn't been there, so it takes a little while to regain your sense of balance.
Williams also explained the ISS's role in beyond Earth exploration. Williams has lived a total of 12 months on the space station during 3 different expeditions. The Jet Propulsion Laboratory held its annual 2-day open house for adults and kids alike.
This is a chance for all these people to come out, be proud and boastful about the things that they're doing, and get a little energy back from this amazing crowd of people.
The fun-filled and educational experience celebrated the center's accomplishments and featured exhibits and demonstrations of JPL's ongoing exploration research. Jet Propulsion Laboratory scientists and engineers answered questions about propelling spacecraft to other planets, using space technologies to explore Earth, and searching for planets beyond our solar system. On loan from the Smithsonian's National Air and Space Museum in Washington, was Hubble Telescope's Wide Field and Planetary Camera 2. Nicknamed the camera that saved Hubble, WIFPIC 2 was developed and built at JPL and will remain on display at the center for the next 5 months. Employees of the Glenn Research Center were visited by members of 2 space shuttle crews. Terry Virts, who served as pilot on STS-130, and STS-131 mission specialist Dottie Metcalf-Lindenberger, shared details of their spaceflight experiences.
Because things float around, and it's a real pain. Weightlessness is a real pain. If you're ever designing hardware, you need to think about that.
On STS-131, Metcalf-Lindenberger and the other members of Space Shuttle Discovery's crew delivered to the International Space Station a multi-purpose logistics module filled with science racks for use in the ISS's laboratories. Space Shuttle Endeavour, with Virts on its stick, carried up the space station's last major modules, Tranquility and its 7-window cupola, on STS-130. Tranquility is now the life support hub of the space station, while the cupola provides a spectacular panoramic view of our planet. More than 200 cyclists took part in the Ames Research Center's 2nd annual Tour de Ames bicycle race and fun ride.
First lap, go to the right side when you're coming this way.
The event kicked off with a 5-minute safety briefing and safety inspection, followed by a 5.5-mile trek that took riders over the perimeter roads of the Ames Moffett Airfield. Tour de Ames was sponsored by the Ames Bicycle Club and other center organizations.
It's the 2nd annual Tour de Ames. This is something we want to do every year because we believe it's something that members of Ames Moffett can get behind. It's something they really enjoy.
Yeah, we just finished 1, 2, 3 and I finished it. Very happy.
And that's This Week at NASA. For more on these and other stories, log on to www.nasa.gov.